Warning, the following podcast has extremely high levels of Kenny Bolin. Studies have shown that excessive exposure to Kenny Bolin may have damaging effects to your physical and mental well-being. Viewer discretion is advised. No, seriously, we mean it. There will be naughty words, lots of them, probably. Now you've been warned. This
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's high noon somewhere. This is the first episode of the StarMaker Bolin Still Earth Society annual meeting, or weekly meeting, or bi-weekly meeting, or semi-weekly meeting, or whatever the hell meeting it is.
You know what? I know we don't have the new graphic yet for the noon report, but I think it's time to say goodbye to Christmas and change that background to something dark.
That's not dark.
No, that's
there we go.
Probably as good as anything right there. Yep, time to say goodbye to Christmas. Even though during Christmas we did not have any Donald Trump Jr. snow on the ground, but there's plenty of it.
Dreaming of white.
Well, we've already got one more viewer in here than I predicted we would get. That 11:18 at somewhere. And it's noon 18 somewhere.
The millions and millions of people watching worldwide
Around the world.
Hello to good, sweet female Chris.
Female Chris.
Watching us from the Philippines. Now, I know these numbers are screwed up because it showed that we didn't have any Facebook viewers, but
yet there one is. Yeah, there one is. No, you can never trust these numbers we see. That's why we just really never know. Supposedly, we've lost 7,000 viewers over the holidays. I've never seen that happen before. That we would lose 7,000 viewers, but I think somebody's manipulating the numbers. I've given up worrying about it.
I blame Mark Zuckerberg.
We go live and you watch it or you don't. And the only thing I can tell you to help yourselves, for those of you watching on YouTube, is to unclick your notification bell and then re-click it. I've heard some people tell me that works, is to do it that way. But this jacket, that's not my black one. This is my blue one. This is the midnight blue. I also have a royal blue, but on camera to me it looks black.
It does.
But if you have your monitor much brighter than what I have, maybe it looks blue to you. You say it looks black or blue, Bob?
It looks black to me.
Looks black. Yeah, it does. It has a very blackish.
I mean, I can see maybe a little bit of very, very dark navy blue, but
it's dark. I mean, here if I'm out in bright sunshine, it's obvious it's a very dark navy blue if the sunshine hits it. But when I'm looking through my closet, which has like a 80-watt bulb in it, and sometimes that 80-watt bulb is blue because all the lights in the house change colors. You can't tell this one from the black one. So, but it's blue, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot to talk about tonight. We have a fan. I don't know if he wants his name mentioned yet or not. If he's watching, he knows how to say hi. He said he might be asleep because it's a little late for him. But he said that he would match every donation tonight that he saw come in here. He will match every $20 donation he sees. And he said, I might even do 25. And he also said to motivate me to do that, for each person that donates $20 to $25, I want them to ask a wrestling question. And if he said, you answer that question and I will match their donation. And I couldn't decipher whether he wanted to do that up to $100 or $200, because he might have been drinking like the ghost. You never know.
Could be. Dennis, if you want to get a question answered, you have to donate.
Yeah, we appreciate
$20. It's a good question. Good question to start off with. As soon as you get that $20 over,
there you go. Yeah, as soon as you make a donation, because we're only answering wrestling questions tonight. Because if you ask a wrestling question and donate $20, we have an anonymous fan for the time being. He might come in here and admit what he said he wanted to do. But for every person that donates $20 and ask a wrestling question, he will match that. And he's good for his word. I've dealt with him. Unlike some people who blocked me on Facebook again when I said, well, we'll unblock you when you donate your $100, because I put up the 100 for him. So when I get my money back that I had to put up for him, then we'll unblock him. So I think he's pissed. I don't give a shit.
I think that block won't undo. I think you're in McDonald's going to pay his World Series bet before that happens.
Well, that hasn't happened either. He owes $100.
There you go.
He was supposed to pay until September, Karen McDonald. So we got two little wedge bettors out there. We got, and if you'll remember, I bailed him out of his $250 bet.
Yes.
He wanted to bet $250 that girl was going to show up.
Yes. And I said, no, I'm not taking your money.
Because I've been more than happy to bet him, because we know that girl wasn't showing up. I should have bet him $250. No, she's going to scam your ass.
Then he owe you $350.
Then he lied about how much. He first said he didn't send her any money. We have that in here.
Because he was embarrassed about it.
He first said he didn't send her any money. She asked me for money and I blocked her and didn't send her any money. And then he says, over on Pesci's show, she scammed me out of $100. Thanks to the ghost and all of them over there taking advantage of him. And then with Stevie Nicks and Gertrude Finkelmeyer and Mick Fleetwood. Gertrude Finkelmeyer, I heard, was in on it too. Yeah. And then he comes over here and says he sent her 300. I said, well, goddamn, which lie are you sticking to this week, Billy? Don't be a hero or a zero. So I got two people out there that owe me $200. And neither one of you is getting unblocked till you make good on what you said you were going to do. Be glad I didn't take your 250 because that was easy pickings, not slim pickings. The other thing I want to talk about is the disaster that Netflix has engaged themselves in. And I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. I saw the numbers come out yesterday. Is that when you saw the numbers come out?
Yes, but those were only live views. Those don't include next day and what they would typically call
live
DVR
views. Live views are how ratings are judged.
Yeah.
Well, hang on a minute. Don't be defending these assholes yet. Don't get into a Joe Scarborough. Did you see the fight with Joe Scarborough and the former leader of the Republican Party, a black man blanking out on his name? The fact that the RNC had a black leader years ago shocks the shit out of me. But they got into it, man. This fucking shit was getting ugly because he was pissed that Joe Scarborough and Mika went down to Mar-a-Lago to kiss Trump's ring. And he finally said what he thought about that shit. He says, oh, Trump wants to be treated fair. He got 74 million votes. He says, well, the fucking guy that beat him last time got 82 million votes and he didn't get fairness. Well, you got to treat me with respect. 74 million people voted for me. Well, 82 million voted for the guy that beat you last time, and he didn't get a fucking ounce of respect from you. He didn't get a smooth transition. So the God, what is his name? Shit, I can't think of it, but it's big on Twitter today. I retweeted a couple of stories about it. Not Jonathan Lemire. Michael Steele, former leader of the RNC. He lit Joe Scarborough up. He says, Joe, you had your say. He says, allow me to have mine. And then Joe kept trying to interrupt him. Yes, Joe's show, just like here, if someone's going to stand up to me, I'm going to interrupt them and hope they don't get their shit in. And that's what Joe Scarborough was doing. I learned to say, get that smirk off your face.
I'm not smirking. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I don't think we have any. Don't everybody donate at once or ask your wrestling question because we have some needs going on here, Bob. But we'll get to this shit, man. But poor Pasta Tart's in here late. Boy, we never see her even during the early shows. Only thing is WWE should have known nobody likes. Well, I won't say nobody because he shows up at a UFC event, which, UFC and WWE are kind of Siamese twins right now. They're blowing each other. He goes to a UFC event just like Trump. He's a hero. Why? Lots of racist white people love fucking UFC. But to their defense, to preach both sides, there's been black UFC fighters doing the Trump dance, the jacking off of two giraffes. There's been lots of UFC black fighters doing the Trump dance in the ring. So he's got support with the UFC. Now, are they going to be stupid enough to bring Hogan out in San Antonio, which is Shawn Michaels' town, which is from what Bob can tell me better than anybody, aren't they a fairly liberal town, San Antonio?
San Antonio is...
I've heard they're the more liberal of the three.
No. Well, I mean, Austin is the most liberal in Texas.
Isn't that strange? The home of Stone Cold Steve Austin. They named the town after him.
I would say Dallas is probably second, and then San Antonio is probably third.
Would they be third as compared to Houston as well?
Yeah, it'd be close. So Houston's bigger, so there's going to be more.
Definitely be bigger.
So there's going to be more MAGAs in Houston just from a population standpoint.
I say that we're not going to see Hogan in San Antonio, but he is scheduled to be at the next Saturday night main event. Where is that show going to be?
San Antonio. That's the show.
Oh, that's the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're right. That is the show. You driving over?
No. They actually Raw.
Your pins might be needed over there in case they walk him out.
Raw. Raw that week, that Monday before that, Raw is in Dallas, and I was looking to see if I could get a good seat and wear my Bolin Services shirt. But if I wore a Bolin Services shirt, I wouldn't be able to keep a good seat. That's what I understand. I'd get moved out of the back.
Well, I don't know. You might get moved in the ring to get the shit beat out of you. That could happen.
Could be that too.
If Shawn Michaels saw you, he might just beat the shit out of you.
Triple H would come right out and say,
Booker T, maybe.
Are you ready?
Are you ready to get your ass whipped?
Well, TNA actually has an event in Dallas or in the Dallas area this weekend, I think it is, or next weekend. And I only know this because, like,
and if a bear shits in the woods, does anybody know?
Last night I watched my
other
first
than the
TNA
bear
show
and a jar of Sherman
TNA show ever. Last night. And they were talking about this pay-per-view that's coming up in Dallas on like the 20th or whatever. And I thought, well, okay, let me go look. There are like 5 tickets left for this thing. Now, it's not a big arena, right? It's not a huge thing, but they've done a relatively decent job of selling out a smaller arena. Oh, I think it probably holds 7,500 maybe.
Well, that's not a bad. I mean, Louisville Gardens was 6,600 if you jammed it.
Well, it's not. I mean, they're outdrawing AEW.
Sounds that way.
Sounds that way. But I was going to wear the Bolin Services shirt just because Nick Nemeth, a.k.a. Dolph Ziggler, is their current world champion. So I wanted to try to see if I could get up front and say hello to Dolph.
I don't hear from him much, but Nick and I are friends on Facebook. So
but unfortunately, like there wasn't even anything decent even on the
I didn't know that's where Nick went. The AEW didn't have anything for Nick Nemeth?
Well, I don't know what they offered because Ryan was there.
I think they'd be throwing away more money than NWA is. I mean, Aaron the Idol Stevens has been over, and trust me, if AEW was paying more money, that's where Aaron would be.
Yeah, this is TNA, not NWA. This is
TNA. I keep confusing them.
Well, I mean, formally, and the weird thing was, like, all of a sudden they were playing a flashback match in the middle of the program, and I look up and it's Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle, and I thought, how the fuck is Jeff Jarrett?
As a matter of fact, I watched Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle on because I've got those added bonus channels for having NFL Red Zone. Still got my medical. I just felt I haven't took my medical bracelet off yet. I sent Bob the results. I did pass my stress test and cardio test. So I'm good for my next surgery. I'm expecting it will be early to mid-February. So, and that proves, God damn it, that I was there, and Bob's got the results that I got sent from my doctor at noon today because it was noon somewhere. Let's see. We do have one donation. We don't have anything from the Ghost yet. To match the challenge set forth by the anonymous donor who said he will match all donations of 20. Said he might even do 25. The way I read his message, he will match all donations up to $200 if they ask a wrestling question. Pasta Tart, do you have a question or just the statement? And I got plenty to say about Hogan tonight. I got plenty to say about Netflix in general. And I will not accept, well, that only counts the live views. Well, that's how ratings are calculated. Who watched live? And here's the advantage. You got the whole world watching live, which they were bragging about. Pat McAfee was on the very next day doing comedy skits, bashing Hogan, which shocked the shit out of me. He was fucking with Hogan bad. For those of you that watch the Pat McAfee show, and I admit I tune in to check out McAfee quite a bit. Because normally at noon when he's on, because everything's noon now, guys, and Pat McAfee's on noon. He's going head to head with me now, so he's in deep shit. He's going to lose 8 or 10 viewers. But McAfee was bragging that there's going to be not 10 million viewers, tens of millions of live viewers around the world. Well, it didn't work out that way. We had 2.6 in America. Okay, SmackDown's had 2.6 over the past few years. I don't know how recently. I think last year they had a show that did well over 2 million. And they weren't on Netflix. The worst, seemingly everybody that's got an asshole has a Netflix account, except me until recently. And I'm not sure I'm keeping mine. I didn't see anything there to make me keep that. I can go watch Raw and Cody the next day in 4K. Because they don't even broadcast in 4K. Cody gets an upscaled version of it. It's not even in 4K. And they went back and deleted all the Rock's cuss words out of the type and the audio. So you can't script it. You can't throw up closed captioning and see what he said. And you can't hear what he said. It's already been taken out. So to me, if you want to run this company successfully, the biggest ratings they've ever done was the Attitude Era. And they could do so much more. You don't have to do the fucking nudity. You could go NC-17 or something, or do unrated, whatever. And you don't have to do the fucking nudity. That's not needed. And do NC-17 and let the language fly. If they're getting into it in the ring, well, fuck you, bitch. And the crowd would go fucking crazy. Now, yeah, that might slow up taking some Bible Belt families might not want to take their 8-year-olds to that show. So I get that. Well, we don't have to do fuck you, bitch. We don't have. But they were chanting it to Hogan and didn't bleep it. Fuck you, Hogan. Because USA would have bleeped the shit out of that. Fox would have went black and not in a good way. They would have went black. There'd have been no scream because they didn't even want you to lip read anybody saying bad words on Fox. That was a thrill. They went to USA. But no, there's Jambi. Oh, by the way, we did send Jambi preemptively some money for some food and linoleum for her floor. Bob, did you see what Jambi did with her kitchen floor and bedroom floor?
I did.
And her kitchen counters. She got a little creative with that, and I thought I did a great job. I told her I was very proud of her.
Yeah, I mean, if you take, she made use of what she had, right? So
she took $10 worth of linoleum, covered her bedroom, which looked bad. And it was very uncomfortable to sleep on. But this is where I want to help Jambi too. Jambi needs a mattress desperately. She showed me what they're sleeping on. It's an old mattress her sister gave her 4 or 5 years ago, and it's fucking paper thin. None of you in here want to sleep on what that poor girl and her kids sleep on. So I think it's about $50 to get her a good mattress. We're not going to talk what Bob's done already tonight. Bob has done something in secret that's been a big help to us. It wasn't quite $50, but, still a substantial help to somebody desperately in need out there. We've got Ruby May in the hospital that needs a bunch of prescriptions. We've got, Eunice is out of pimple cream. And I said, Eunice, I love you, but you're at the back of the list right now. And then her pimple cream is about $12 or $13. And I know it's a big deal to her. But an 18-year-old girl needing pimple cream over girls needing medications or the sleeping conditions that Jambi has. But we got her some food, and she wanted to know if she could get carpet. Well, the carpet was going to be $50. We got her enough linoleum to cover her bedroom and kitchen for $10. I said, no, here's $10. Go get the linoleum. And she did it herself. She didn't have anybody to help her. So I was proud of what Jambi did. I was proud of another young lady. I think she goes Evelyn. We helped Evelyn get some things she needed. And then there's another we helped for the first time preemptively because she couldn't wait. Her kids got asthma. And I sent Bob pictures of the kids. Bob, if you have the pictures of those 2 little kids and the one little kid hooked up to a nebulizer, and then I got other pictures of just them not hooked up to a nebulizer. And I can't remember the girl's first name. But she's been asking me for help for a while. But we got so many current people. So then she says, my kid had asthma. And I say, God damn, man, that asthma shit is rough on adults, not to mention a kid. So I got her some medication and some food for her kids. They had some chicken and rice yesterday for the first time in a while. They got, the medication she needed, the medication for asthma she needs was about 200 pesos. I don't know if that's for a week or a month, but either way, if it's 800 pesos a month to help the kid breathe, $16 fucking dollars. You can't do that here. And, but she needs a nebulizer, and a lot of families over there share nebulizers. Well, I don't want this family to have to do that. I want the kid to have the nebulizer. So I don't know what we're going to do tonight. Y'all need to start asking some wrestling questions to get this other guy to donate up to $200. Because he says, if they donate 20 and ask a wrestling question, I will match it or maybe even go 5 above it. And he's good for it. I don't want to reveal his name. It's up to him. I guess he fell asleep because I think he would be in here by now. The ghost, I'll donate when I can and when the dollar is different. Well, you're not donating, Paul. Because have you seen who's coming into office? He's declared war on everybody but Australia. And hang in there. Y'all going to do something to piss him off. You, New Zealand, somebody. I think he's going to rename Australia Deepest Southern America.
Yeah, I know that you're a huge fan of Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah, monster fan.
Rogan suggested that after we get done annexing Canada, we can annex Mexico.
Yeah.
And that solves the southern border crisis.
That would solve the problem. I mean, I got to be with him there. It solves the problem. If there are no borders, well, we got that South America.
We just move it down to like Panama or something.
Well, I've heard I hear Trump wants to make the Confederate flag the flag of South America. Adds up.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, let's give them the rebel flag so we can get some use out of that again.
So there's that bed that you're talking about.
That's what now that's the linoleum she got for her bedroom. I actually like the kitchen linoleum a little better, but that's fine. At least it's comfortable. It's smooth. They're not getting splinters in their feet. Yeah. The puppies and the kids can play on that floor, and they're not going to get hurt now. So that's good. And we did the kitchen and the bedroom. That looks good. That's the kid that I got the asthma medicine for yesterday.
Right, so that's the little nebulizer. And so a nebulizer is not terribly expensive. We've gotten a couple of those before. But
that's the money I got him yesterday, like just laying on the floor.
Throw
your money away.
When you pass these things around, you're passing around the germs, you're passing around the chances for infections. So it's way better for them to have their own, or at least one that stays within the family, as opposed to. And then what happens if the neighbors suddenly decide, you know what, you're using our nebulizer a lot. I think you ought to pay me 250 pesos.
They'll sell the use of their nebulizer.
That'll come up sooner or later, right?
And I think these things are $40 or $50 for a nebulizer. I don't remember it being much more than that because we've bought a few over the years. We have. The money I sent them is laying on the floor. and they went out and got their medication and they had chicken. Did we have the picture of the two kids together? Because they are the cutest little things. I think we got a picture of the mom and the kids.
Yeah,
but I thought
here in just a second.
I thought I sent you a picture of both kids together, and they got those big, pretty eyes, and just the sweetest kids. And Jambi was so happy with her floor and the things she did in the kitchen, and she actually used that linoleum to work on the kitchen cabinet. But yes, Nicole has done 20. There we go. Aren't they the cutest little kids? Look at them. Just flaunting that drug money, or technically it was drug money. I had to get asthma medicine.
4 medicines, right?
I guess technically that's what it was. So, what do we got here? We got, hang on. We got Pasta Tart has issued a $20. Yeah, anything. He said that whoever donates to 20, if they ask a wrestling question and I answer it, he will donate 20 and maybe 25 up. The way I read it, up to $200. So, but he's apparently not watching the show, so he's going to have to take our word for it. Maybe Bob can keep track of the donations and the wrestling questions. And I'll even get him to honor Paul RJ's. I'll get him to match Paul's too. And Paul, what wrestling question do you have? Why were you permitted to be a part of the wrestling business? My answer is, I don't know. With that accent. So let's see, exchange rate $17.95, $10.58 USD. Yeah, well, like I told you, Paul, I told you not to worry about it. We got more viewers now than when I went on the other night at like 8 o'clock. So I guess we got some night owls on a Friday night.
All right, so back to Netflix real quick.
Hang on. We got a shocker. Schmidt, Bad Chris, is down for 20. Now, I don't know if he's got a wrestling question or not, but Mr. Schmidt, well, or maybe he wrote it in here. Let me see. Chris Schmidt, for here you go, asshole. Oh, I don't know about that.
That's kind of a wrestling question.
Yeah, that's kind of, and then Paul RJ's donation just came through for $10. And so Schmidt and Nicole have been the only 2 donations, along with Paul RJ for a third. So we got 24. So we got 50 in the house so far. So based on what they've done, we do have enough to get a mattress. But as I explained to her, food and medication will take priority over that. But we are going to work at getting that mattress real soon. And if we do good tonight, Hell, we'll get money over for the mattress tonight because it's going to be in the neighborhood of about $50 for a nice full-size mattress that'll do something decent. If you make a donation, ask a wrestling question, we will answer it. I guess the guy on Facebook decided his Ronnie P. Gossett question wasn't worth the $20, I guess.
No.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. That's how it works. Let's see here. Kenny, you should play this. It is behind the scenes of these OVW Wix commercials you were part of. Oh, well, I guess we could play them on a future show. Yeah, I did Wix commercials, the Wix Pizza here in Louisville. I did commercials with Mark Henry, Jacob Duncan, for those of y'all that remember him, Beth Phoenix, Cornette, of course, and seems like there was one other WWE star. Oh, Mark Henry. Mark Henry was involved in those. Kenny, thoughts on Vince starting a new promotion, possibly? Yeah, I heard that shit today. I think was it you the one that was asking me if the territories are going to be back open again? Vince's name is dirt and mud. The only thing that's going to even, if Trump has the power to pardon him, some of his charges against him might be federal. There are going to be some that are going to be local that Trump can't do anything about, especially the sex trafficking. Because Vince McMahon was posting shit today somewhere, like Trump claiming he was innocent. Well, no, he's a convicted felon now. Whether you like him or whether you don't, he's a convicted felon. That's what the sentence is all about. Did everything he could to get out of it, and it didn't work. And even the Supreme Court didn't save him, which shocked me. But it was a 5-4 vote. Amy Coney Barrett was the only one that didn't save his ass of the ones he appointed and the other Republicans. Amy Comey's the only one that had any balls. Shocking.
John Roberts, who's kind of become a swing vote, was one of the 5 because there's only 3 liberals left on the court.
Yeah,
and a pardon wouldn't stop any of the civil lawsuits either from moving.
No, it wouldn't do that.
Federal
and there would be plenty of those. Yeah. And Max disappointed me because he was talking about what a great person and what a legend and what a genius Bruce Pritchard is. I'm sorry. I know too much behind the scenes shit. I know too many of the fucking travel stories between the Pritchards and the Kevin Dunns and the Jim Cornettes and the Jim Rosses and all those that fucking knew, the Triple H's, the Stephanies, all those that fucking knew what was going on, and whether they participated or not, unlike Laurinaitis and unlike Kevin Dunn and various others who were pretty sure fucking participated. I don't know if Pritchard participated or not, but the fucker knew. And so did Triple H, so did Stephanie. But they're saying that Triple H and Stephanie are the ones that ratted Vince out to begin with, so they could basically hijack the fucking company. And I know my son believes that. It makes sense to me. Because how the fuck else are they escaping all this shit?
I saw that the SEC ruled that McMahon owed WWE $1.3 million to cover for the hush money that the company paid out on his behalf, that he had to repay that money because it wasn't company related expenses or whatever. On Netflix, they did get 2.6 million US, they 4.9 million globally. The Raw numbers for last year, an average Raw.
That's the young lady that we helped with the nebula. We kind of helped her in advance, helped her with the medication that needs the nebulizer, got them some rice and chicken, and she was so thankful, so appreciative. I think I sent you some of the screenshots. Sweet young lady, love her kids, and when I heard the kid had asthma, I had to do something. So
so the 2024 average U.S. audience for Raw was 1.2 million. So
run it by me again.
The 2024 average for Raw was 1.2 million. So
that was their average. They had dropped to 1.2.
Yeah, they had,
when they were bragging about selling out all their arenas and how hot they were. We're bragging about 1.2 average.
17,000 people isn't going to make a dent in 1.2 million, but it was the highest audience.
No, but if the houses are full, you assume the television
would assume that television would too, right?
Yeah.
is the highest television rating for them in the last 5 years for a Raw broadcast.
Wow.
So
it's still a tiny fraction of what they used to do.
The millions and millions and millions that some people were predicting,
including McAfee.
Some people were predicting a 10 million people, even if that's just global numbers. They didn't get half that.
Oh, there were people predicting 20 and 30 million. Now, I don't know how many subscribers worldwide have Netflix, but there were people just thinking if you had a Netflix account, you was watching Raw, because they were saying tens of millions will be watching live because we're all at the same. And it's cool that everybody can watch at the same time. Now, my friend Kunika Jane, who looks so much like Maya, that lives in India, they had to watch on whatever their network is over there because they don't have Netflix yet. But she said it's coming in 2 or 3 months. That apparently Netflix made a deal with India. So, and that's a large population in India, and I'm sure that'll boost the number some. There's a lot of wrestling fans over there. I don't know how dramatically it's going to boost them, but even I would have thought that if Netflix is available to 80% of the globe, and the way this fucking show was hyped, if you'd have told me, Kenny, high or low on 10 million, I can see over 10 million. I'd have been hard pressed to push 20, but yeah, I could have saw that just out of the first show alone. And then if you deliver and then first show, then you might hang close. It's like we told everybody about CM Punk and AEW. And that prediction was exactly right. It's going to be high for this week, probably high the next few weeks, but 6 weeks from now, you're going to be in the same fucking toilet you've always been in. And that's about exactly how that shit went. And then he wore out his welcome and they couldn't wait to see him go. And I think more or less was asked to go. So, but no, if you'd have told me 4.8 million or 4.6 or whatever it is for the global live audience, I said, you're out of your fucking mind. I would have said that. And I'll shit on their ratings as much as anybody, because there was a day that if they got 6.8 rating, which was I'm pretty sure over 7 million viewers, everybody was disappointed. Everybody thought the show was a fucking failure.
So you have to remember
nine something million before there was any, and you could only see it on USA.
Everything in Europe, it was showing in the middle of the night, and then across the world.
Well, who the fuck in Europe works? It's noon somewhere.
It's true. They don't understand that yet.
And now, thanks to the Steel Earth movement, I'm thinking about putting my clock. You see the big clock there, Bob? I'm thinking about putting on a flashing and to tell you that it's always noon. If I turn that clock off and reset it and take the batteries out, what does it do?
Flashes at noon.
Flashes 12 exactly. Noon, not AM. Noon, Vincenzo. Flashes noon. So I'm thinking about just making that a flashing 12, so it'll always be noon somewhere.
So we were going to let the fans have a say in the Still Earth logo. Although, if they pick the wrong one, it won't matter because we won't.
Yeah, if they pick the wrong one, we'll just override that shit.
So this is choice A, Still Earth. The Still Earth non-movement, one time zone to rule them all.
Mm-hmm.
This is choice A, palming the earth. And this is choice B. Kenny's got the whole world held solidly in his hands. Yeah. And not moving. As you can see, the earth is not moving.
People needing help. 3 people have donated.
This live view of the earth being held in place by Kenny Bolin. That's why it's dark in Africa, because Kenny's
right there. Yeah,
it's why it's dark in Africa, because Kenny's hands are covering up.
Yeah, my hands are blocking the sunlight.
Yeah, so that's why.
And remember, from now on, we don't tell time by the time. Is Kenny? What time is it? Well, it's 12 o'clock, and you tell time by how light is it out your window. And it's a dark 12 o'clock over here right now. Very dark 12. And in the Philippines,
Kenny, how light is it? It's dark light now. Yeah.
Well, I asked for money and 8 people quit watching the show. So you got to love that. So
congratulations to Ohio State. It was a close game until the last 2 minutes.
Until it wasn't. Now, here's what's funny. My brother tried to do the reverse psychology, big SEC fan. I said, well, you ain't got nothing to be excited about anyway. You have no fish in this pond, because Texas is still glorified Southwest Conference. They haven't even graduated from Southwest Conference yet, along with Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Oklahoma was never in the Southwest Conference.
Well, they have been in my story, all 3 of them. All three of them are Southwest Conference. Because where Texas goes, Oklahoma goes.
The Still Earth Southwest Conference.
The Still Earth, Oklahoma, sooner or laters. We're going to give them a new logo, sooner or laters. Three of you've donated. And Nicole is one of those. Chris Schmidt's another. Paul RJ, three. None of you want to help these people. There's 31 of you in here watching the show. 34, excuse me. 34 people were watching live. And none of you can do anything to help these people. And I know you always ask for money. Yeah, I do. Because that's why we do the fucking show. Don't irk me. I'm already irked. And I don't like people of your ilk. Me and Dutch had a 90-minute conversation this morning. And he likes the word ilk. He likes the word ilk. He contacted me at 5:45 this morning and was shocked I was awake. And but I was, because I woke up at 3:30. All right, about 4 or 5 more inches of snow on the ground out here. All the dog poop has been covered up with another layer of snow. Speaking of time zones, here in the future, it's my birthday. Who gives a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You should take some of that birthday money that you're going to get and donate it.
Yeah. All that birthday. That's your I don't know. He might not be getting any birthday money. So maybe Good Chris is watching. Maybe Good Chris has a question from up north, possibly. I guess the guy that said he was going to be matching these donations went to bed early.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen him.
Probably had a good idea what was going to happen.
Now, I am considering doing a show tomorrow, because we're on so late tonight. Maybe the decent people that don't go to bed after 11 o'clock, the 28 of you watching the show that says, nah, I don't think I want to help anybody. The guy that wanted to ask a Ronnie P. Gossett question and then ran, $20 donation to help somebody. God damn, King. Sounded like my brother, didn't it? So
sounded exactly like your brother.
God damn it, man. I'm going to the casino. The SEC sucks. The Big Ten made us their little bitches. That's for you, Tim. You stupid fuck.
Yep. And then the independents made the Big Ten their bitches.
They certainly did. They certainly did. Well, Bobby Bob, we're not going to be here much longer. How long have we been here?
Almost 40 minutes, an hour.
Well,
40.
I didn't come here for 40 minutes for 3 damn donations.
You want to do the NFL playoff picks?
Yeah. That's all. We're going to do the NFL playoffs. We'll pick the national championship game. Now, is the national championship game next week or the week after?
It's 2 weeks off.
2 weeks. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I disagree with that. I think they just
play it and beat over it. Yeah.
Play the fucking shit. I don't even like the week off. I don't even like
the
time
NFL.
Off.
Yeah.
And now we do have a playoff game. We have a playoff game moving to Glendale. Now, speaking of the guy on the milk carton that used to be a part of this show, he wrote me and said, I don't know if I'll be on this show, the one we just did, the season premiere. He blew off the season premiere. Never heard a peep out of him, even though he said he might be here. He said, I might. But I'll be full-time after that. Well, this is after that. It's noon, and it's after that. See, it's almost 12 o'clock now, so we'll be here at least 3 more minutes because it's going to be noon somewhere. Again.
Exactly.
Again, it will be noon somewhere. You see the clock, 66 lovely degrees. What temperature do you keep your homes at? Let me ask a question. Bob is over 66, I promise you.
No, if I run the heater, it's 78. If I'm running the heater,
78?
Yeah, my dad. My dad is
would,
very cold natured, so
give him a fucking unblock Kevin Marr and get his thermal bag.
Typically, when it's 78 degrees, we only have about 3 weeks in the entire year where it gets below that anyway.
Well, probably so.
So in the summer,
if you don't turn the heat on, and you're not running the air conditioner in the winter. During the summer, now this is where I will work with you on the 78. During the summer, I set my thermostat on 78. That's where it stays. and it'll stay 77, 78 in here during the summer. During the winter, I set my thermostat on 64 to 66. I've gotten to the point that 64 is a little cool. Not overly thrilled with 65, but 66 has seemed to be the perfect temperature. And it just went up to 67. I got to go turn the heat off. So, and still my electric bill is through the fucking moon. Fortunately, I'm scheduled for an electric assistance appointment on the 14th. And I can confirm Kenny's place is hotter than a... Will you quit quoting Cornette? I mean, and I don't even know where he stole that from. That's fucking Cornette. You must have been listening to his show today. Stop it. So, do I have a WWE autograph y'all want me to put up for auction? Because I don't think it's going to do any good tonight. But it takes a minimum of $100 worth of donations. We put you in a raffle because most of these autographs you all can't get. Take care of that, Bobby Bob. They've had that account for a little while.
Yeah.
There you go. Stupid bucks. Don't
tell me that you love me. Bum, bum, bum,
yeah. Make another one. Well, they won't get back through because it's a 20-minute delay on a new account. So they won't get that one back.
How are things in New Zealand there, buddy?
Or whomever. We have the 7 trolls that all blow each other, and they try to out troll the other one. But good to know that they're up at noon, Bob. It's noon somewhere.
It is.
Hi, Choco. And so we're getting ready to do some. Yeah, Glendale, Arizona. I don't know why not San Diego or San Francisco, because those stadiums are empty and not doing anything. But they chose Glendale, Arizona. How far is Well, hang on. We'll get it right here. Hey, Google. How far is Glendale, Arizona from
Phoenix?
Los Angeles?
1,728 miles away from Glendale.
Well, that's how far I am. Hey, Google. How far is Glendale, Arizona from Los Angeles, California?
If you drive, Glendale is 370 miles away from Los Angeles.
I guess it's a good hike either what direction you go, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to go to San Diego, but at least it would still be in the state. The state would keep the money instead of letting Glendale, Arizona have it. So I don't know. Remember the 2 trolls fell in gay love, Kenny? No.
Whatever.
I thought they were all gay for each other. I didn't know. And I'm not judging. If 7 trolls can find gay love together, that's fine with me. We don't judge over here at the Noon Report. We don't judge.
The Noon Report.
We just,
so yes.
Criticize. That's
Thank
all we
Jack Mackle from Jackal for bringing this up.
Yeah,
that is Black Bart passed away this morning.
Yeah, JBL was talking about that. Said he was like a big brother to him, and
Black Bart actually trained JBL.
Yeah,
and kind of gave him a
I used to watch Black Bart back in the old days on Chicago wrestling that was based out of. Well, I watched it on Indianapolis TV, but it was basically Chicago Dick the Bruiser Wrestling.
Yeah.
And I used to
worked
see Black
a lot of Texas. Worked WCW for a little while. Worked a little bitty short stint in WWE.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black Bart trained JBL. So R.I.P.
Maybe Jack Mackerel had the donation. Maybe.
Well, we were giving him the rest in peace for.
Yeah, we gave him
wrestler, but
we'll give him that.
All right, football picks.
But he was in here with no badge and no donation,
and that's all he's getting until he.
And everybody knows I love Jack Mackerel, so I smell a little something suspicious about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's Colby Lopez Jack.
I'm a big fan of the Jack Mac. Yeah,
Jack Mac and cheese. All right, the Los Angeles Chargers are facing the Houston Texans in Houston.
Yes.
The Chargers are 3-point favorites.
Well, you go first.
I'm going to take Houston.
I was leaning Houston myself. And the Chargers are 3-point favorites?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a good feeling about Houston at home. It'd be hard for me to go against them.
All right. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. This game is on Prime
I will
Video.
bitch slap you if you start bitching about Jack Mackerel. It might smell bad, and my son agrees with you, and I was never allowed to cook it. within a 3-day radius of when he was coming over. But Jack Mackerel is just some of the best. And it's a lot of trouble to make it right. At least it is for me. And it does leave a smell in the house for a few days. But I love some Jack Mackerel, and don't be on here unless you want to badmouth the person for not donating and not having a badge. You can do that.
That's what he's talking about.
And then telling us shit that we already fucking know. Like me and Bob don't know who trained JBL. I get mad when people assume
I've actually shared a locker room with Black Bart. So
did you really?
Yeah, he was in Global back in the
you did, or JBL?
When I was still there. JBL did too, but JBL was there after I was gone from Global. But yeah, Black Bart was in Global when I was also.
Well, Billy, how do you propose to do that? Well, Billy unblocked me again. I was blocked earlier today. Hello, Kenny Bolin, Bolin. It's me. Okay.
Bolin.
And I want to get things straight with us. Well, okay. That message came through at 11:29, Bob.
There is $100 way to take care of it.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. All right,
I'll go look it.
Jack's done. I don't. Bob might have stole that Porsche. You don't know. You don't know how he got that.
Plus, it might be like a 1944 Porsche
Opel Cadet version of the Porsche.
Yeah, it's an AMC Pacer with the plastic Porsche body on top of it.
I told you I was suspicious about dumb fuck Jack Mackerel. I told you. And you stupid fuck, if you're going to come on here with your ignorance and stupidity and start lying about me and Bob stole that Porsche. Don't you ever accuse him of spending all that money on that Porsche.
Exactly.
He steals from his dad's bank account in the middle of the night to pay the insurance with. I just found that out recently, and that's genius. I like that shit. I wish my father was still alive so I could steal money from him. Oh, he is still alive, but I got rid of him for being a racist fuck. And as far as me having $500,000 under my bed, Chris Schmidt, who probably formed that Jack Mackerel account, wouldn't shock me, came over here to help me install my brand new mattress that I got free from Wayfair. He searched the world over and thought he found true love, but he found another, and it wasn't $500,000. No. What we found was $2.3 million under my bed. It turned out over 22 years of storage under my bed, the $500,000 had been compounding interest daily and had grown to 2.3 at Bolin Savings and Loan right under my bed. So you lie, motherfucker. 2.3 million. And Ghost, that was quite a while ago.
And counting, yeah.
Well over 3.6 million by now.
It could be.
Under the bed.
Under the bed, right. As opposed to under the
That's
table.
right. That's right. Chris Schmidt came over here and wanted to be a part of my bed. We will keep the rest of it secret. Go ahead.
Yeah. Pittsburgh goes to Baltimore.
I'll give you that. So
yeah, Pittsburgh
goes to wrestling photos. Dusty mementos is what he found, Bob.
Dusty Rhodes mementos.
Oh, well, they could have. Well, Pittsburgh Dusty Rhodes memento, and I'm going to get that out one
of these days. Pittsburgh at the Louisville Lamars.
Going to get me a mouse. Oh, Louisville Lamar playing the Schittsburg Squealers.
Baltimore's a 9.5-point favorite. God
damn, that's a lot of points.
It is, but
been a big old playoff game.
Monster roll recently.
They have been playing good ball. How about the fumble recovery tonight out of the big Ohio State boy? About 4 plays before that, I had predicted a pick six, and I didn't get a pick six. I told Timmy John, I said, I wish I had typed to you. I said, I feel a pick six, man. I didn't get a pick six. But we got 80? It was an 83-yard fumble return. He said he nearly passed out when he saw how open he was, that he was going to get him a touchdown in an NCAA Final Four game. He said, I nearly passed out on the way to the end zone.
Well, the Texas quarterback, Quinn Ewers, was that guy's roommate when Ewers was at Ohio State. So they were
I'd forgotten about that part of the story. And they said he was giving him shit about it too. So
yeah.
All right.
Surprise. All right, I'm going to take the Steelers to cover the 9.5, but not to win. Baltimore wins this game.
You got Steelers covering the 9.5.
Yeah.
Well, to keep it interesting, I'm going to have Louisville. What's the weather forecast tomorrow in sunny Baltimore? It ain't. Everybody else getting snow.
2,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's hot. That's a hot day.
It is. Baltimore.
I kick off in Miami yesterday being 57 degrees, and everybody was bitching about it. And then the announcer said,
let's see.
The United States would like to be 57 degrees right now.
Tomorrow, there will be a high of 34 degrees, a low of 27. Snow showers are a possibility.
You know what? I'm going to have confidence in Louisville Lamar. They're playing good ball. He hates Pittsburgh with a passion. I'll lay the points and take Louisville Lamar.
A lot of points, but I wouldn't.
It is a lot of points. It gets my attention, but just so we don't pick everything exact, or there's no reason to do it.
Surprising Denver Broncos off their thumping of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
or at least Kansas City Municipal High School team.
Yeah,
goes to Buffalo, where Josh Allen's team is a 9-point favorite.
Yeah, this is where Denver's shit comes to an end. Josh Boy Allen, who took one snap last week, so he's well rested.
Yeah.
I got Buffalo covering.
I agree with you. Buffalo will cover that 9, and the Denver Miracle season comes to an end.
It's all over.
The Green Bay Packers
should have lost. Either Miami or Cincinnati get in, especially Cincinnati. Cincinnati was playing some good ball.
Yeah,
Miami would have fucked it up because they lost to the fucking Jets, but
right.
Cincinnati might have given Buffalo all they wanted.
Could have. The Packers play the Eagles, and the Eagles are a 4.5-point favorite.
I got the Eagles covering that.
Schmidt,
do you have a pick on that game?
I'm going to pick Green Bay just so
I'm telling you, Chris Schmidt's sitting there on multiple computers. He was Jack Mackerel, I guarantee you. Oh, Hart Deloat's on here thanking you for helping out with little Ruby May in the hospital with all her issues that are going on.
Unknown disease of
unknown something or another. Yeah. And Hart wasn't even able to see her either.
Sunday night, the Washington Commanders take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa is a 3.5-point favorite.
I like that matchup. Who's favorites in that?
Tampa by 3.5.
Tampa's favored by 3 at Tampa?
At Tampa. I'm going to pick Washington to score the upset here.
Well, I'll stick with my Florida boys, even though that state brings great shame to anybody that's ever associated with it anymore. My son was talking to me. He says, because we shit on people that try to use Wikipedia to make quotes. My friend Dutch Mantel tried to use Wikipedia.
According to Wikipedia.
Yeah, and I said, Wikipedia thinks I was born in fucking St. Petersburg.
That's like quoting Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, if Wikipedia knew jack shit, it would know what city I was born in.
If they knew Jack Mackerel, on the other hand.
Yeah, well, Jack Mackerel probably knows. And Chris Schmidt.
The Monday night game is the Minnesota Vikings at Los Angeles Rams. Minnesota is a 4.
I like playoffs on Monday. How about you?
I do too.
Now, what days got the Amazon Prime games? Because one of the days
Saturday.
is Amazon. That's Saturday.
It's the Baltimore game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like their rewind, and I like it better when that shit's on YouTube TV.
Right.
Because I don't like their rewind and fast forward shit. I don't like it because I like to start the games about an hour late, so I can get through the bullshit.
Yeah, it's like jump to live. I'm like, I don't want to jump to live.
Fuck that. Yeah,
that's why I started late.
I want to skip commercials. I want to skip halftime.
Vikings are favored by 4. I believe they cover.
Vikings by 4 over
the Rams.
And it ain't going to be in LA. Where's the game at?
LA. Well, you know what?
It better not be.
Los Angeles is the home team. So let me see where.
Oh, is that the one that's in Glendale, Arizona?
That might be it. Yeah.
Gotta be. Yeah, that's Glendale. Yeah, that's Glendale, Arizona. I was going to say, I know somebody from Los Angeles is not playing at home and they were supposed to be.
Yeah, so that game is moved because the Chargers are actually on the road against Houston. So yeah, that was supposed to be a home game for the Rams, but now it's a home game for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I think the Rams might get more fans in Glendale.
Well, let's see here. NFL wildcard game on schedule to remain.
Well, Billy, when you pay your $100 that you made me pay, then you will be welcome back. But you fucked me over.
All right. So currently, as of an hour ago, according to CBS Sports, it's still scheduled to be played in SoFi on Monday night, but they are preparing. Really? They're preparing to move to Glendale if they have to.
Oh, that's not what I heard. I heard today that it was definitely in Glendale. No shits or giggles about it. And those fires are still bad. They're not showing signs of having those fires under any control. So I'm a little blown away by that.
No, I'm surprised too, just because it's just the logistics of having. Plus, you're playing a game like that in the middle of this thing. So CBS.
I was so sad to hear that Billy Crystal lost his home that he'd been in since 1979, the year I graduated high school. John Goodman, just a fucking hell of a good man, hell of a good actor, lost his home. I thought I heard Paris Hilton lost hers. Steve Guttenberg's been out there moving people's cars if the keys are in the car. But yeah, there's been several celebrities, and Chris said there's been a lot of so-called famous YouTube streamers that have lost their homes. Well, they're doing good on YouTube. They can afford to live in that area, so they're doing better than me.
All right. So, according to AZ Central or the azcentral.com, which is the game's definitely been moved. CBS Sports says it's not been moved. The CBS report was actually only an hour ago. So
I think CBS is full of shit. I think the game's been moved. I don't see any way they can play that game there. I mean, there's just smoke and fire and just shit everywhere, and it doesn't show any signs of getting any better.
Yeah, they should just move it to Detroit because that's where we're going to be playing next time anyway.
Yeah, that'd be where the next game is. So, Winter can just sit there and wait for them.
Exactly.
We're here. Los Angeles could just forfeit. That would be a step in the right direction. Hey, give us a hose and a bucket of water. We have work to do. Football, we got fires to put out.
Right. I saw that Donald Trump is saying that all they got to do is just open the water. Open the water in the north, and the fire would be put out.
And they'll be able to flush their toilets, and the showers won't go drip, drip, drip. And
McCarthy apparently will be the Cowboys coach next year. They, if they can work out a contract. So the owner, Jerry,
are they wanting not to give him one?
Well, no.
He doesn't have a lot of clout to go to the contract table.
Jerry, right? Jerry's going to say, "Well, if you work for $100 a day, that's not only counting the days you work."
Well, no, wait a minute. Right? Hear me out here. Plus trans and food and gimmicks. You get to sell all your gimmicks.
We'll give you a hot dog.
Oh, I made a lot of deals where if I got to keep 100% of my gimmicks, I didn't give a fuck what they paid me. Because the gimmick table was always going to quadruple anything they were going to pay me anyway, so I never gave a shit.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, here at the Cowboy Stadium,
well, what are Cowboy fans saying? Do they want McCarthy gone?
I think it's kind of split.
What do they think of their quarterback?
Dak wants him to stay. So.
No. I mean, do the fans want Dak still to be the quarterback?
Dallas Cowboy fans are notorious for loving the backup quarterback. Although Cooper Rush came in and proved that wrong. So now we love the third string quarterback.
Like the third
Trey Lance came in and now he proved that wrong too.
Oh boy. I was checking to see if we have more than 3 donations tonight, and it looks like very unfortunately.
We got 10 from Paul RJ, 20 from Chris Schmidt, and who was the third one? The match.
$10 from Paul RJ.
Yeah, I got that.
Nicole did 20.
Oh, Nicole did 20.
Naughty Nicole did 20.
Nicola.
And well, I guess you went to sleep. We've been answering wrestling questions left and right and hadn't seen hide nor hair of you, but maybe we'll see you tomorrow.
We might do a show tomorrow.
I mean, even if you don't want to do one, I'll hop on here for a little bit by myself if you got other shit to do.
Heck, I might even go to an art show tomorrow. I've been invited to an art show.
Go to where?
An art show.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's way too much culture for me. No, I don't want to.
Well, and plus it's in downtown Dallas, so I don't want to go downtown Dallas.
How far are you from downtown Dallas?
Well, it's probably 20 miles and 75 minutes.
Well, you're fucking in LaGrange. LaGrange is 22 miles from Louisville. You know how far I am from downtown Louisville, the Yum Center and all the action?
No.
Shockingly close. If you look around my neighborhood, you would never dream that downtown is so close. I am 1.8 miles from the Yum Center where the Louisville Cardinals play. The homeless people that we help feed are maybe 1.4 miles away. Very close, but this is one of the richer areas in all of Louisville is the Highlands Cherokee Triangle area.
Yeah, 30 miles. And
yeah, you're fucking LaGrange, man.
Yeah, anywhere from 38. Right now, there's 38
you're probably
minutes.
not called Dallas. What is your specific area called?
I'm in Richland Hills, Texas.
Richland Hills. Okay, yeah, you're the LaGrange of Dallas.
Yeah,
LaGrange is 22 miles away from downtown Louisville. Henry County, Pendleton, where Timmy John used to live. He's got very many racist towns that he's been a part of. Pendleton was 30 miles from downtown Louisville. So you're the Pendleton.
I'm the Pendleton. Yeah,
you're the Pendleton. Pendleton Hills will change the name of it too.
About an hour drive.
All the racists live. Do you have a lot of racists in your town?
Not in my.
I mean, other than you. Don't count you.
Well, Dad.
Well, was he out on the porch with a gun that night? He heard gunfire. Did he run out there with you? With his...
Actually, it was him. He was the one shooting.
It was him.
It was him.
So you went out there armed to take on your dad. Is what happened.
It's like, Dad, put that down.
Put that goddamn guy. I'll shoot and ask you to put it away later. Oh Lord, I thought.
So
Bob
did you? Did you watch the 6888 on Netflix? Or have you?
I did. Awesome fucking. I told Chris to watch it. Awesome fucking movie. And I never wanted to slap so many fucking fat ass white goddamn generals in my life. That movie made me mad. And Kerry Washington is the queen of overacting. She is the queen of over dramatization. I used to love her show. I forgot what it's called. You remember, Bob, the series she was on? The one word title.
Was
Scandal.
Yeah, that was way over the top.
Oh, her and her father were so over dramatic with everything. And it's not that she's not a good actor, but if you want over dramatization, Kerry Washington's your girl. And but she does an amazing job in this movie. I thought everybody did a great job. And I know that big fat racist white general from somewhere. What have we seen him in?
He was in Breaking Bad. He was
Breaking Bad. Okay. He's been in something else too.
He's been in a lot of stuff. Yeah. Dean.
And normally a fat white racist fuck is what he normally plays. So he must have that.
So Dean Norris has been in. He was in Breaking Bad.
His name? Because I couldn't have told you his name for $1 million.
Yeah.
People out there are starting to think the king don't like racist white fat fucks.
Better Call Saul, of course.
Yeah.
He actually made an
appearance. I saw him in Better. I used to love Better Call Saul, but I kind of faded out of it after like 19 seasons.
Yeah. He made a guest appearance on Scandal, believe it or not, which is kind of fun.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Have you ever watched the series Deadwood?
No, I have not.
Oh my God. You do not know what a great television show and great characters that you're missing. Raylan Givens, Timothy Oliphant. That's where a lot of the people from Deadwood made it to Justified. Justified is my favorite TV series ever. It has nothing to do that it was based basically in Harlan, Kentucky. It could be in Richland Hills, Texas, and it would be just as good as long as they shot racist white people. And what your dad's trying to do, either that or defend his ground. One of the two. It could go either way. But Deadwood is and the Ghost is back, and I knew Ghost would like Deadwood. Deadwood is a great fucking series, and it's basically old 1870s Wild West rules and shit, and language. But if you don't like the word cocksucker, do not watch that show. Because Schmidt, if I had to guess, if I said that they use that word 1,500 times, I might not give it enough credit in the course of the series. I mean, I have watched episodes and heard that word 30 times. Every character, doesn't matter what character, they love that word. and including Calamity Jane or Chlamydia Jane, they may have eventually called her. Calamity Jane's in the series, but the characters are there. Oh, and Billy Bob Thornton's in it. Billy Bob's in it, a very heavy Billy Bob Thornton. And I forgot, Schmidt, do you know the name of the main guy that runs the crooked ass saloon and bar that has the upstairs area where he's always getting a blowjob from somebody? He is a great fucking character that I'm shocked did not make it to Justified. He would have been amazing on there. And I can't think of his name, but he's just got one of those faces that just got heel written all over it, an old Western heel. And most authentic version of Wild Bill. Yeah, it's kind of the Wild Bill Hickok. As a matter of fact, Wild Bill Hickok is in the movie Tombstone, and this has a very Tombstone flavor to it. In which the most beautiful you will ever see Billy Zane look is in the movie Tombstone when he gets off the stagecoach. Maya said that I had a man crush on Billy Zane, and I said, well, Tombstone, Billy Zane, or Titanic, got to go with Tombstone. And what was funny about it, there's a saloon scene to where Billy Bob Thornton is performing on stage. Not Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Zane is performing on stage, and one of these old redneck racist piece of shit cowboys out in the audience goes, God damn, that's a pretty man. This is in the movie Tombstone talking about Billy Zane. Ian MC. Yep, that's got to be the guy. So Bob, if you can look up that guy that Ghost just picture him in any fucking Western. And I don't know if you've seen any Justifieds or not, but he would have been a fucking great character in Justified. Ian McShane. Yeah, he's been in a lot of shit.
Oh, yeah. He's like always a bad guy, right?
Yeah, he's always got that face, you know?
Yeah.
And a hell of a fucking actor, too. So, yeah, I put Deadwood up against any show on TV, and it's right up there with Justified is a great fucking TV series.
He's a non-scarred Edward James Olmos. That's what he is.
Exactly. Well, is he? I think he might be very scarred if you look closely.
Well, maybe.
At least in his TV series he is. But yeah, he's got that type of face. If you can picture Edward R. Armos or whatever you said it, Miami Vice fame.
Edward Olmos.
Yeah, he's and when he appeared on Miami Vice, that face and that look was basically his character. Because and whenever he spoke, it was always just very quick, very direct, very low. He never yelled at anybody. And it was worse when he was quiet and gave you the stare. If you were a big Miami Vice fan, and I was. But I think Justified and Deadwood are even way better than Miami Vice, and I love fucking Miami Vice. So where are we at on picks?
We're done with the picks, and
we done?
I think with that we might be just done with this train wreck.
Yeah,
not a coal train wreck. But
3 donations. No, a coal train would have crashed it a lot quicker than that. Nope, we got 3 donations all night. Oh well, 3 we didn't have before the show started, I guess.
$50 and maybe 100 if we get our match, right? So,
well, maybe 100 if we get our match. I've written him, and he's sleeping right now, and well, I'm sure he's good for it. But if he'd been on here and could participate and ask some questions, shame on everybody that didn't think it was worth $15-$20 to help these people out. Shame on you, and don't worry about the 3 points I have under the bed. That's my money, and I'm keeping it. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Plus,
he's in John. Oh, is he in the John Wick movies too? I didn't know because I've watched the John Wick movies. I don't remember him being in there. Do you? I bet you've watched the John Wick movies.
I do not remember him being in there.
Yeah, I like the John Wick movies, but I do not recall his character being in there. But I might have to go back and rewatch them now that you tell me that. All right, we will try and do a little something tomorrow night at a more reasonable time, probably 9:30ish. Oh God, is there an 8:00 NFL game tomorrow?
Yes, the games are. Let's see here. What time they start?
Might not be a show tomorrow.
NFL schedule. All right, so the Houston game is 4:30, and the Baltimore game's at 8:00. So,
well, fuck that. You won't be seeing me because that's the game I give a shit about. What's the Sunday schedule? Maybe I'll do something Sunday.
Buffalo at noon or at 1:00. Green Bay at 4:30. Tampa is the Sunday night game. Tampa, Washington.
Night game Sunday too. Then.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, guys. I'm trying to work with you. Well, we'll see if maybe I'll pop in at halftime of one of the games or something. I don't know. We'll see. Bob, you don't need to worry about it. I mean, if you're around and see I'm on, want to pop in, go ahead. If you got shit going on, don't worry about it. Go get cultured. Go downtown. 30 fucking miles. I always thought you were like 5 minutes from the fucking RFK Stadium where they play all the Cotton Bowl over there at RFK Stadium. No, that's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Stadium. Yeah.
Yes. Cotton Bowl's probably
vaccinated people not welcome.
45 miles.
Really? Is it that far?
Yeah, because it's south of Dallas, and so.
And did it turn out you all didn't get hardly a flake of snow?
So it depends on where you live. Like where I am, we probably got an inch and a half, maybe.
Okay,
but
all right. Well,
my brother, who's
because there was talk today on the Google that you guys weren't getting anything, but I was asking for Dallas, not Richland Hills.
Yeah, so my brother who lives basically just a little north of Fort Worth.
Is your brother a racist, ignorant fuck?
Well, aren't we all?
Cool. No,
he's a Texan.
Well, all right.
Aren't we all?
No,
and no, he's not. They got pretty close to 6 inches. So
mine is a racist, ignorant fuck. Just for nail that down. But he's proud of it.
Yeah, well, at least.
Yeah.
Of all the things you can be proud of.
And he's proud of it. He's very
my lack of education that I'm proud of. He's a
convicted felon. He's proud of that. He wanted a license plate that said felon, and they wouldn't let him have it. Well, he was very proud that he served.
Because he probably tried to spell it Fleon.
Well,
Leon.
Elon Musk.
That's right.
So, what do you think with his arrest warrant? What do you think with his arrest warrant in Paris? Is he going to go to Paris and get arrested? That'd be great.
That'd be hilarious. But.
Yeah, interfering with their elections. Well, he interfered with ours too. Maybe Trump will have him arrested.
Could be. That's right. He goes, hey,
you know all what? Of his assets. Oh, that would be the most genius move Trump ever made. Is have Elon arrested for interfering with our election, seize all of his assets, and take all his money. That'd be funny shit right there. That
really would be kind of funny.
Trump be over with me if he did that.
That would be hilarious.
He scammed Elon Musk.
Well, Elon, have good news and have bad news.
We got some good news and bad news.
The good news is you don't have to worry about that government job anymore.
I don't like Joe Tessitore being bumped down to SmackDown. Well, they might be a bump up now.
Well, Corey Graves got bumped all the way down to NXT.
Oh, down to the minor leagues.
Yes.
Kenny, we love your work you've done up here on Monday Night Raw with us, but OVW and Al Snow are in desperate need of help. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Chris says he thinks the NXT show's the better of the three.
OVW might be an improvement over the.
Yeah. So what do you do? Is that all the damage we can do for tonight, Bobby?
More than enough.
Well, good, Chris. If you're watching and you're in a position to be of any help to us, we greatly appreciate it. And good, Chris, send us your wrestling question, and we will make sure to answer it on the air. An anonymous source who was going to match all this money tonight, get a fucking nap and join me the next time we come on.
We raised $10,000, anonymous source.
Yeah, it's anonymous, and we just need 200 from you, though. That's all we need. And pick the WWE autograph that you want. The Ghost. Ghost, have you been working during all this snow? Have you been home? Has your restaurant been open? Of course, he needs 11 seconds to reply. What's your work schedule been like over there? You never bring me any food, so I never know.
You never bring me flowers or food.
Or pasta.
You never bring me pasta
greatest
anymore.
Chris made a couple of pastas that are made from high protein pasta, and the way he makes it and the sauces he uses, it's like up to 40 grams of protein the way he makes it, and it tastes great. But he also made a no carb burger. It's the best burger I've ever had. I had it tonight, and I air fried it. I reheated what he made. My fucking God, I had to call him and tell him that if any restaurant had brought me this, I would have had to tell the restaurant manager that is the best hamburger I've ever had. That motherfucker was great. It was made on no carb bread, and you'd never known it. I reheated it in the air fryer for like 6 minutes. Let it set for 5. Fuck, that burger was good. And it was like a double. The closest thing I can tell you is if you got a real good steak and shake burger made on the Texas toast type of thing. That's about as close as I can give you. But it was 3 times better than anything I've ever had at Steak and Shake. And I've had some good burgers at Steak and Shake. It's kind of the flat. He even made it from his own homemade ground beef. He got his own meat, put it through the meat grinder because he didn't want the shit you get out of the stores. I said, well, you got some 50-50 at Kroger for like $8 for 8 pounds. Yeah, 50-50 meat. I normally buy the 80-20 is what I get, the 80-20.
Right.
But I see some 90-10. The 73-27 is what you don't want, though. You wouldn't think it'd be that much.
That's a little too much fat there for that.
Too much. Go with 80-20 or 90-10. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know how we can save any more lives than what we've actually done tonight. And until the next time you see us at noon somewhere, this is Kenny.
It's always noon somewhere.
With Bobby Bangs Hazelwood, along with the long time missing in action. We're not even going to mention him anymore because I don't. Right. No. You got to work here to be mentioned.
That's right. Remember, cast your vote. Palm the earth.
Yes.
Or Kenny Bolin holds the earth in his hands.
Yeah, the whole wide world in my
doesn't really matter what you pick because we're probably going to go with this one. But
yeah, it's probably actually we're not. You picked the wrong one.
We'll probably
because I like the writing of the other one better that I used on the memes. You do need to make a 16:9 meme because if you've noticed, I could only show still Earth tonight because this logo is so big. I could either show non-movement or I could show still Earth. So for tonight, I showed still Earth on the meme. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I need something for the
yeah. So I need a 16:9 or whatever our measurements are for StreamYard. I need that if you can somehow make that in 16:9.
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
So if you see the meme tonight and you only see still Earth, well, that's why. That's all that would fit.
Because it's non-moving.
Yeah, it kind of cuts off right about where my hands are. I don't know how you got that picture of me holding that globe, but that's a good picture right there.
There you go. Well,
I almost put my little finger right in the middle of Africa. I tried to
right in the youth of Africa.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I noticed when I was looking at the globe at the doctor's office today, a lot of landmass in Russia. If they just had the people to match that landmass, and if we buy Greenland or steal it or do a hostile takeover, there's 55,000 votes for Democrats. I got a feeling.
Probably, yeah.
55,000 people in Greenland.
I mean, they'll get 3 electoral votes just like
they got half of an RFK stadium, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Stadium.
So, yeah, the folks were pointing out that if Canada were to actually be annexed by the U.S. as the 51st state, it would be almost as large population-wise as California. So you're just going to have 47 million Democrats to, or 40 million.
Some were on the Fox Entertainment claiming that there's way more Republicans in Canada than we realize. That's why Justin Trudeau is in, and I'm sure there's a few. But the bigger cities where the people live, the Ontarios, the Montreals, our good French-speaking speaker over there is the people in Montreal. So what we got? Ontario, Montreal, and there's another big one, Quebec,
Toronto,
and where was Bret Hart from? Calgary. So we got 4 major cities in the entire fucking country?
Vancouver
is 5.
Toronto.
I forgot Toronto. So 7 or 8 major countries in the whole cities in the whole goddamn country.
Yeah.
And those will be very, very liberal cities. And that's where the fucking people live.
Yeah.
It's like when you see these maps and you see all this. How did we lose? How did we lose? Look at all that red. Yeah, there's nobody fucking there.
Dirt doesn't vote people.
I'm still amazed how y'all fucking won. But when 20 million Democrats stayed home over the Palestine-Israel shit, that's how you won. It's not hard to figure out. When 20
poor little girl with her asthma. Come on.
Did we ever get the good picture of the 2 of them together? Well, that's good enough for now. There's a better picture of these 2 kids, and they just are the sweetest. The mom can't deny those kids. She did not kidnap them, because if you look at the mom and those 2 faces of those kids, that's her kids.
There is some genetic familiarity there.
She did not kidnap those little heathens anywhere. They stole their money, I see. Bob, who's on the money there? Is that Marcos?
It's got to be Marcos, or maybe it's. I thought you were on the money. I thought you were on the money there.
I thought they put me on there 14 years ago, but apparently there's been a delay in the printing. I think I need to sign them. I got to sign the checks.
Old bills, probably.
Yeah. But no, Mom cannot deny those kids. So I hope she's still watching it. Well, look who's here. Why are you guys up so late? Why are you up so late is a better question. Well, T-Maker, we were doing $20 challenges. This is what one of our fans did. He says, for everybody that will donate $20 and ask a wrestling question, if Kenny answers it, I will also donate $20 to $25 up to $200. So that's why I'm up late. And we were trying to raise money because we got a kid. Show the nebulizer again. We need to get a nebulizer for a kid. We got Ruby May in the hospital that needed a fair amount of medication. That kid needs a nebulizer. I've already bought her asthma medicine because it was 800 pesos for a month's supply. It's $16 so the kid can breathe for a month. But they're borrowing that nebulizer, and we want to get her own so she doesn't have to count on neighbors to bring her the fucking nebulizer. So we're trying to help that kid. And so one of the fans said, and he did not give me permission to release his name, but for every fan that donates $20 and ask a wrestling question, he's matching it up to $200. But we only had 3 people donate tonight, and that was Nicole, Bad Chris, and Paul RJ. Right. So Maker. So why are you up so late, Maker? It's noon somewhere. Is it noon where you are, T-Maker? Probably not. Probably not.
It's always
noon 40 here. And I was telling Chris that earlier today, I'm thinking about just unplugging that fucker and just let it flash 12 all the time. It's part of the Steel Earth movement. Show the logo one more time. Yeah. Now, well, Bob, what's your personal favorite? Because I hear you know the guy that made these.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of the palming of the earth.
But it covers up all the land, though.
Yeah.
And look how wet his fingers are.
I know.
He's got a lot of ocean in his fingers. Can you really grope the globe that way with your fingers and get in all that water and still hold it?
That might actually hurt some fish.
As cold as it could be frozen.
Well, he's going up to
could be chilly.
Index fingers there on Greenland, and got a big chunk of South America covered there in the palm. But this one probably just grab it and hold it in one place.
Okay, hang on one moment, Bob, because you've heard me brag about. And how about AT&T buying 10 commercial spots using our theme music? Where else would they have heard it? They had to hear it here. They hear me plugging the AT&T fiber all the time. AT&T watches this show and stole our fucking music's what they did. Yeah. So that's why we brought the music back tonight, because AT&T sure does like it. They ran 10 commercials during 2 games. No, it's 11:40, and I'm watching the fire footage. Well, okay. Because I skimmed through all that stuff and I'll tell you why. CNN was broadcasting a cat trapped under a fucking burning truck. And they tried to rescue the cat. And the cat wouldn't come out. And then the reporter looks up at the camera. Oh, I don't hear the cat meowing anymore. I think she's gone. I think the poor little cat has died. I'm crying. I just watched a fucking cat burn to death on fucking live television.
Hey, look, we just murdered a cat on live TV.
They walk away like nothing happened, and then they come back. We hear the cat meowing. So they reported the cat burned to death, and then the cat's still alive. So I think somebody finally rescued.
Breaking news, the cat is still dead.
The cat's no longer dead.
Way to go, cat. Way to go.
Yeah. I got choked up telling the cat story.
Well,
but yeah, how many houses can you show burning to the ground over a 4-day period? I want to see Trump having the judge telling he's a convicted felon. I'll watch that over and over all day. I liked watching Bush snub Trump as he walked in and he belly slaps Obama. That's a big one on Twitter today. And then Mrs. Pence refused to shake hands with Trump when he held his hand out. But Mike, who he tried to hang, shook his hand. Okay. That would be like me shaking hands with one of the 7 trolls after all the shit they've tried to put me through.
Could be.
Yeah. Well,
just like that.
Probably not going to happen.
All right.
Then it played
Still Earth non-movement, one time zone to rule them all.
Yeah.
We'll be back when we're back. And if we're not back, then we won't be back.
So for those of you that are watching the show later, didn't get a chance to donate, if you write my inbox, ask me.
All of these things still work over here on the side.
They all still work, regardless of what we've seen tonight out of the 3 people that donated. Make sure to write my inbox. Let me know you've donated. If you have a wrestling question, feel free to ask it. I will answer it for you. And Billy Sellers, you know what to do to make things good. You fucked me out of $100. Karen McDonald, you fucked me out of $100 that I had to cover for you fuckers. So I'm down $200 thanks to y'all lying to me. So when y'all fix your fucking problem, and like a fool, I'll welcome you back until you fuck me over again.
Nothing that a scamming con man like Kenny Bolin.
Oh my God. Boy, when you scam a scammer like me, it just pisses me off. It really does. So until the next time, whenever that time is, it'll be noon somewhere.